How you doing, guys? It's another beautiful day in South Florida. I'm here at Silver Lakes HOA. It's located in Pembroke Pines. I have a listing here. You should see the video there shortly. But here's some tips for the landlords and tenants alike. Landlords, if you're planning to raise rent, go about it in such a way where it's not going to cost you money, and potentially you have to do a whole new make ready for that unit and have to carry the weight of vacancy costs, daily vacancy costs. Typically, when you're going to raise the rate, there is no cap in Florida. But what you like to consider is, has that tenant been an ideal tenant? Would you like to continue doing business with that tenant moving forward? Have them taken care of your property, do an inspection, take a look inside, make sure everything is up to par to where you like it to be. And also consider when you're doing your comparables, make sure that you're not going overboard. You know, market has changed. If you're going to raise the rent on them, make it reasonable. Make it in such a way where you can explain to them why and the reasoning why, because you're going to be raising the rent due to maybe additional carrying costs, insurance has been up, or simply because you are raising rents throughout the area. Something reasonable for them to understand and also consider that it is worth for them to stay there again. But again, you landlords, you want to, if this is a income for you, additional income for you, what you want to do is raise the rent reasonably, where it is fair for them and fair for you to negotiate those terms, and then therefore, moving forward, you don't have to worry about having an empty unit and having to carry costs on a daily basis, and then having to spend months on the market and pay commission costs to realtors, and also the make ready, which is the painting, the cleaning, doing up the trash. So these things will add up to where, you know, it's for $100 rental increase or $200 rental increase, you've lost a tenant, which you can maintain and retain that relationship with them. For the tenants moving into Florida, I get this a lot when I get these phone calls coming from my office. Typically, it takes, if you're going to rent a home out here and we're relocating, best to know how your credit is. That's one. If you don't have that information, it's not going to help you in the long run, paying application after application after application, because either you don't have the income that you can prove, or you do have the income you can prove, or you have some derogatory items on your credit. Take care of that first. Now, if you have the income, proof of income is very important when having to apply for a new home or a condo or have you. Ideal credit always helps. Sometimes if you don't have ideal credit, some landlords will overlook it. You have the income there with the work history there to back you up and show that you can be an ideal tenant for them. Typically, they'll ask you for additional months of security deposit. That's just to reassure them that you're not going to default on that. And that's also going to help you maintain and stick to your contract. So ideally, 2.5 times of your rent, or 3 times of the rent, is usually the income that landlords are looking at. So as for property management companies, so consider that and make sure you have that. 2 months is typically the 2 months deposit, security deposit is usually the typical amount most landlords will ask you to have when you're ready to move in. So mind you, it's going to be 3 months, first month's rent and 2 months security deposit. Have that ready, have that together, know your situation with your credit, make sure that's up to par, and consider all those items. Tenants, if your landlord was going to raise the rent, here's your rebuttal. I've been a good tenant. I don't call for much work orders unless necessary. I've always paid my rent on time, and I think that we can continue to move on a relationship. Write them a nice email explaining your case. And that way, you guys can come to some resolution where you can benefit each other by not having to turn over that unit and them not having to do all that make-ready stuff that I just mentioned. So, always best not to go after your landlord and yell and scream or what have you. Calmly contact each other and maintain a working relationship where you guys can benefit from it. So that's my tip for today. Anything I may have missed, guys, or anything you want me to talk about, comment at the bottom, let me know. Appreciate you guys watching the video. Again, Fernando with Terry and Terry. Contact me if you have any questions regarding property management for sales or rentals. Thank you and have a good day.